Actually, then I could use the backdrop and put us anywhere in the world. Shall I do that?
We could do the next thumbnail.
What's the next one then?
I don't know.
We can do the next thumbnail. What is it? I don't know.
I
don't know.
Oh, actually, that's just reminded me.
Cuckoo, Kachoo, and welcome to the Aquarium, the Piscean presented podcast. I'm Coach Rab, and this is the Lovely Libby, and tonight we will be talking about love language.
Love language.
That's that in one take. What do you think?
Well done.
One take, baby. That's how we roll.
I'm going to have to do it at some point.
Well, you signed off the last one, to be fair. Speaking of the last one, Libby was like a moth. She was like, right, she was tired, right? You watched the last episode, she's like,
oh, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, so I'll apologise now. I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know, it looked like I'd like smoked a joint or something.
When we were rewatching, she couldn't watch herself. I was like, it's fine.
I couldn't watch it, and
You were tired, that's what it was.
I was tired, but I didn't feel like I was tired, but I was just in a daze, guys. I'm really sorry.
We used two lights to the side. She was just staring at them like,
and then
I can't avoid the light.
We were laughing at it when we watched it back. I'm like, Have you ever seen that off? What's it called? Bug's Life.
A Bug's Life, yeah, because that's the line, isn't it? He said, I can't. What's it?
No, he says.
Stay away from the light.
He goes, Harry, don't look at the lights.
It's like, I can't help it.
Harry, no! Don't look at the light! I can't help it.
I can't help it. It's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, because it's one of those fly buzzer things.
Yeah, and the fly goes up. It's like, Harry, no.
So we've actually changed our. We're now on Tuesday, and it's a reasonable time, so we've got a bit more energy.
Yeah, a bit more energy. And we've had a bit of a less busy day today as well, which gives us, well, me personally, I struggle quite a bit socially if I'm tired.
Yeah, oh, me too. I mean, I can't remember, was it episode 2 or episode 3 when I was tired, and I bet it took me a while to kind of perk up. Was it?
Although that was nowhere near as bad as me.
Yeah, I thought you were fine, Alan. It's just that you're always overcritical of yourself.
The lights!
There's a couple of scenes, I'm going to splice them in. I'm going to do it. I'm harsh to you in the end, I'm sorry.
No, you'll have... No, I agree with you. I agree with you. I was saying to you when we were watching, I was like, oh God. I was like, Rab.
I was resisting the urge. There's like a filter, it's called Ripple. It's one of the effects you can put in, which I'll put in just to show people the effect. And I was resisting the urge when editing that to put that all the time, every time you were looking up.
Oh my God, you should have done that, because at least it would have made it funny and not embarrassing. But I was, so oh, sorry.
What did you?
I just moved that. I put my foot on it, sorry.
You should have said you moved it out of your mind.
It's like, oh.
You could have just like told everyone you had special powers.
I did. And also, guys, I haven't been to Chicago.
Chicago!
You're out of there!
I haven't actually been. Do you not think it's funny that people wear these tops and they haven't actually been to the...
Well, do you know what I was doing last night when I was brushing my teeth, right? When my clients come across from the States, they often bring me t-shirts. And one of my clients brought me this t-shirt, and it was from Nebraska, and I'm brushing my teeth, looking in the mirror, and it was like obviously a football team. It was Nebraska, and I'm trying to read it backwards. I'm brushing my teeth, going, "What the fuck does that say?" I was like,
did you not read it before you put it on?
Well, I didn't think. It turned out it was the Nebraska Cornhuskers. But I'm looking in the mirror, going, "What does that say?" And I thought it was like a Russian letter, because of course the R was the other way.
What did you think it said then?
I have no idea, but I didn't stop to just look down. I was brushing for a good 2 or 3 minutes, going, "What does that say?" And eventually I was like, "Oh, for goodness sake!"
It's so funny. Bet you read it backwards or something.
Oh, I did eventually.
Yeah. What is Nebraska backwards?
Scammer.
Yeah. Like, wow. That's
What's your name backwards? You Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
I'm Trebor, if I'm Robert, or it's Bar.
Bar.
To the bar.
Yibby. Oh no.
No, you're
Yibble.
Yibble. It's like a gerbil or something.
Yibble. What's golf? Backwards.
I mean,
the amount of times people get my last name wrong. I always get Gow.
Gow?
Yeah, or I used to get
indigestion, clearly.
Do you ever that where you
Indigestion, yeah.
Do you ever get that where you can't swallow?
I don't think I've experienced that, Libby, but that's okay, darling.
I knew as soon as I said that what your brain was thinking. Do you ever get that where you can't swallow? No, we
Your mum watches this, for goodness sake.
Rab. No, do you ever get that? Where you can't swallow? Like you actually can.
I can always swallow, darling.
I'm being serious, like where you're actually like...
But you just forget how to, or?
Like no, I don't forget. I'm trying to swallow and it's not going down. And I'm like...
Oh.
Anyway, what was I saying before that?
I have no idea, darling. My mind is in the gutter already. I need to clean myself back up and think of something. Oh, I can think of something lovely we did. So just at the weekend, we did some clearing out.
Oh yeah, we did.
Oh God.
Oh, you're recording.
I'm always recording, darling.
Here we are, cleaning out.
Yes, we're going to declutter. We're going to do all this. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, that looks so bad.
Yeah.
We've got tyres. We've got pipes.
We've got Nala just marching around the garden because she thinks she's going on a walk with her collar. Let's just...
Nala bear. That collar's been outside for a couple of days now. So we're going to declutter and do a little before and after.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is a satisfying thing.
It's very, very satisfying. Although we're a few episodes ahead of that one now.
Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah,
Obviously.
That's not satisfying.
In Scotland.
Right, we'll get going with it.
Yeah, let's go.
Nala, drop. Go get a stick. Go get the stick. Go. Get a stick. Come on, darling. Good girl. Come on, darling. Bring the stick. Come on. There we go. Drop. Drop. Right, get away. Right, drop. Go get a stick. Go. Come on in. Come. Come. Drop. 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 Go get a stick. Go. Go get a stick. Come on in. Come. Drop. Drop. Don't you dare. Drop. Go get a stick. Go get a stick. Go. Come on in. Come. Drop. 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 Oi. Go get a stick. Go on. Sit down. Nice. You've earned it, darling. Oh, that's a hard day's work, puppy. Good girl. You enjoy those smackles?
Which was very therapeutic.
Very needed cleaning out. Clearing
out. So, like, you know, when you've got like a dirty space, a cupboard or a shed or a garage that's filled with stuff, and when you do a big clean up, most people do a spring clean, don't they? So, what are we doing? An autumn clean? Is that what we were doing?
do you know what? I think it's a winter
Watch the
clean.
lights, Libs.
I think...
So,
I can't help it.
I think... Was I doing it?
you were like,
Harry, don't look alive.
how long have I been a spy, Harry?
I was just thinking there, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking there, my brain's going. I was thinking it's actually a winter gut out.
The winter got out.
I bet you people do that. So, you know, I have to get the roof fixed. I was thinking with the guy, I was like, I bet you loads of people are contacting roofers now. So before we get into the depths of winter.
The depths of winter.
So trying to get all those jobs done, like basically my roof is coming off and desperately needs done. And it does, because when I sent the photos to the guy, he was like, I think you need to sort that before the winter. So we basically gutted out all of the back of this big shed that I have that had like old tires,
Wood.
tons of wood. It was
Like old
table, chairs. It was so cluttered. It had like this old fire pit that had literally disintegrated.
Because you know, like with fire pits, when they heat up, it peels off the paint. The paint was ultimately protecting the metal, and then they're prone to rust, and then over time it just falls to bits.
Oh, it was just disintegrated, didn't it, basically? So we organised all of that, didn't we, before we put it in the van?
We did.
We organised all of that, put it into little sections, and then we gutted it, and it feels amazing. That's a satisfying thing.
Yeah.
That was an inner satisfaction.
Just like 4 episodes too late, but that's fine.
Yeah, but that was... Oh well, there'll be something else, won't there?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was super satisfying. Although I don't know if maybe some of the followers actually will have been to the Perth recycling.
Oh.
But it's like, I don't know if you have ever been. Have you been to the Perth one?
Yeah, and they're quite... I find that
It's very like...
you kind of feel like you're back at school, don't you?
Yeah.
It's very, they're very strict. And you're like, I've got a permit, or you're trying to do the right thing, you know?
And the guy, when I first got up, he was like, hello? Like, right up. Like, I could smell what he had for breakfast. I was like, oh, hi. He was like, show me your permit.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Do it again.
He was like, what are you here for? Like, so
It's
angry.
like, are you threatening me?
Yeah, I was like,
Take what you want, don't hit my face.
yeah, I was like, and then there was this big sign saying, don't abuse the staff. So,
Yeah, so
they obviously, I was like, they obviously get a lot of abuse. Do you not find that funny as well, how there's signs? There's one on Glasgow Road, how they're resurfacing that.
And it's a sign about...
There's a sign about being abusive to staff. Because obviously Glasgow Road's been resurfaced, like...
Yeah.
So many times. People are obviously really annoyed because they're just not doing the job. So they're constantly having to resurface that road. And people are getting annoyed, obviously. They're like, come on. How many
People
times?
are getting annoyed.
How many times you have to resurface this?
How many times? Goodness sake. But yeah, you're right.
But also as well, how would you throw abuse at workies
They
that
don't-
are on the road? You'd have to shout it out the window.
I know. But I think what it is, and this problem is that people are cheeky like that. They can always drive off, the workies can't. Like, imagine that like photographic memory. I'll remember your reg plate.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny, isn't it, how we have to be reminded
To be nice.
to be nice.
It's nice to be nice, people. It's nice to be nice.
It is.
So it's very therapeutic clearing out that space. And then afterwards it's like, so if you've got a space that you've been putting off, we recommend you give it a go. Whether it's that cupboard under the stairs where you hide things so it looks clean, clear and out of the way, give it a go. Clear it out.
Everybody has that drawer though, don't they?
That drawer, have you got that drawer?
We know that drawer.
That
I'm
drawer.
not. You don't even have to name it, do you? That drawer.
It's that, yeah, right, it's that drawer.
There's that drawer that everybody just chucks things
You
in.
mean the drawer or that drawer? That drawer.
That drawer.
That drawer.
That drawer. That drawer. Yeah. What was the difference to that
It's
drawer?
just because I take it too far.
Ah, you're talking about drawers, isn't?
Your mum watches this, Libby.
Is that what you meant?
No, I was just taking the same thing to but you've taken
That is what
you've now
you're
taken. No, I
meaning.
was not. I did not mean drop your drawers. That's like so 1980. You weren't even born then.
So yeah, everybody has that drawer.
So tonight's episode is love language.
Love.
You come up with really good topics for the podcast, to be fair. I'm just here with these lights like moths. That's all I bring to it. Lights and a green screen.
Well, we think they're good, don't we?
What, the lights or the green screens? Or the
Although sometimes I have mentioned to you a couple of lists, and
what?
then you're like, what about this? I'm like, okay, so that's a no then.
There was one or two I mentioned and you're like, not really going for it.
No.
But regardless, this is one we clearly agreed on. Love
Yeah,
language.
love
So
language.
I will put the same image up in the edit. So apparently there's a lot more. There's 5 main ones, right? So allegedly, after doing the homework, did you do your homework?
No, I'm kind of rolling with it today.
Jeez, this is what the rock and roll stars do. They just roll with it. Rab the geek. Does his homework.
I just improvise. That's all I need to do. I don't need to
Well,
study.
apparently it was a concept created by Dr. Gary Chapman through his long-time work as a marriage counsellor. So I suspect he's probably cherry-picked from other people, but he's going to get credited for it. So there's 5 main love languages. Some people would argue. I saw lists of 10, I think. So we'll talk about the 5 main ones. So we'll go through each one individually, but I'll list them just now. So we've got words of affirmation, acts of service, physical touch, quality time, receiving gifts. That's 5 main ones.
The only thing I thought about was the receiving gifts. Is that not part of acts of service?
You mean like when I winked and gun so you could collect my beers before the podcast? That's
You
a
didn't even
service.
wink. You just asked me. Don't lie.
I'm losing my mojo. I was like, go on. Be
You're
a good,
pretty
go
good,
be a
Rab.
gal.
You're pretty good, Robert. Not asking, but being pretty obvious.
Like,
You're like, oh,
I'm very thirsty.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I would love a beer right now. Like, do you want me to get you a beer? And then obviously I'm like, yeah, of course, darling.
I get all the bitches well trained in my life.
Is that because you're a player?
Rewind episode. We're on episode 8, right? Is this
Are we
it?
alright?
That's been 9 weeks we've been at this then.
Is it? Oh, do you know what I found it really random? But did you know Matthew Perry's he's passed away a year ago?
That 1 full year.
That's 1 full year since Matthew Perry died. October something. It's next week, I think. No, can't be next week. It'll be this week.
Wow.
1 year. Anyway,
1 year.
it's a bit random, but yeah.
Right, that's just because of that what we put in last week, right?
Yeah.
Will we get back to our homework?
Yeah. Sorry.
So, words of affirmation. So, verbal and written compliments, unexpected praise and recognition.
But do you not agree that receiving gifts is kind of like acts of service?
Sorry, I did not address that, darling, and I will come back to it. Receiving gifts, well, acts of service is, well, yeah, you're right, because an act of service is doing something for someone without necessarily buying them. So you might not buy them a gift, but for whatever reason, good old Dr. Gary put them as separate things.
Yeah, but not all gifts cost money.
No, well, yeah, I guess.
What if you like made a card? Is that an act of service then, or is that receiving a gift?
Well, I think acts of service would be if you went and cut their grass for them or took their bin out or
Yeah, it'd be chores. Does it not say that? Chores do.
doing things for other people that brings them joy.
Okay.
Whereas receiving gifts is your classic, let's bring you flowers.
Yeah.
I did a beer burp in her face. I held it
Oh,
in
I've just done it again. Sorry.
You're as bad as Nala. Was that in the first or
Sorry.
second episode?
It's because I need to cross my legs, and it's
Why?
why? Because I'm a lady.
I'm going to cross. I can't even cross my legs.
Can you actually not cross your legs?
I don't know. Not under this table.
I've seen you cross your legs before.
When?
No, I haven't.
A player like me never crosses his legs,
Oh
Nally.
my god.
I actually can't. Not under this table. No. Look, I can't. There's not enough room. My legs are massive.
But could you do that with your thighs?
That's what I'm saying. I can't because of the table. I'm not.
It's kind of funny.
Did I just lose man points? I better chunk this beer then, right, to get them back.
I've seen a lot of men cross their legs.
Do you not think sometimes it looks a bit kind of, I don't know, like they're trying to be too prim and proper?
No,
Like
not
for me,
at
I cross
all.
my feet. I think that looks cool.
It reminds me of my dad used to do it. And he used to read his book, his glasses.
My dad sits with his leg crossed, but I just can't sit like that. It's just, and then
Why is that?
Well, if somebody's reading a book, that's when sitting cross-legged or reading a paper looks cool, right? But if you're sitting cross-legged at a meeting, I just think you're being too prim and proper. Do you not think?
It's not something too prim and proper.
Oh really?
I'm sorry.
Oh, fine.
We're not allowed to be too posh.
That'll be one less act of service you'll be getting later.
I beg to differ.
So, acts of service and receiving gifts, you think they're sort of similar because I suppose, but
I do, yeah.
okay. So, words of affirmation. So, when you give compliments, basically,
Yeah. You're a big one on that, aren't you?
as in for giving them or receiving.
I would say out of the ones that you picked, what was it? 1, 2, and 3.
I-
Oh no, you did.
I chose 3, 4,
And 1.
Yeah, I did 341 because my birthday twin Cheryl said the same thing.
Yes, yeah.
That was within our app group, by the way. Go on Instagram, app group, what am I talking? Go on Instagram, we've got our podcast group, and it's the Aquarium Podcast. You can request to join. It's brilliant. And you can come take part. We do post into there, and it's people respond.
It's good. People are. It's nice. It's nice to see all your comments and everything.
We're trying to build connections.
So thanks for commenting, guys. Appreciate it.
So compliments, basically. It's tough though, isn't it? Because
I'm not a fan of compliments too much.
right,
I don't know if you've noticed
I'll get my cranes out and I'll have a new battle plan to win her heart.
Have you noticed that?
Oh,
That I get a bit. I don't quite
I
know.
think you get a bit giddy, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you turned up tonight and I gave you the wink in the gun and said you looked lovely.
Sometimes it's giddy, but sometimes I don't quite know how to deal with it. Not that I don't like it. I do like it. I'm just saying I'm a bit like,
Yeah. But no, you're right though, because then some people don't believe the person's being genuine.
Yeah. Sometimes when you say that to me, I'm like, no, that's not true.
But it is true. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it if I didn't think it was true.
Yeah. Do you believe me when I say you're handsome?
Well, I've been washing recently, so I do believe that that's played a factor in it.
Yeah.
And I even gelled my hair for you tonight. How's that? Well, it's interesting with compliments because one of my clients' son is Asperger's, and this was years ago, and I hadn't seen him in a while, and I was like, "Oh wow, you're getting big, or you've grown," I said, and I genuinely meant because I hadn't seen him in about 9 or 10 months, and he had really grown, and usually because I'm 5'9", 5'10", and most of my clients' kids, the minute they get to 6 foot, I'm like, oh dear, they're just bigger than me, and so I noticed he'd grown. I was like, oh wow, you've grown, and he was very direct. He's like, but have I though? I was like, well, yeah, because he was very much. Apparently, everybody had been telling him he'd been growing, and he almost took offence to it because he thought, well, I can't just constantly be growing, like otherwise you get a giant. Then I said, well, I haven't seen you for 9 months. Then he stopped and thought about it. He's like, oh, actually, I have grown in that time. So it was a genuine compliment.
Yeah.
But people automatically jump and think they don't believe it.
Ah, right.
Disingenuous.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Across.
Yeah.
Or if they say, I suppose, I guess that's why you've got to be kind of careful with what you say, isn't it? Like, you're looking well.
Yes. Yeah. Do you know what? I found that when I used to live in Glasgow, when I was, in my opinion, when I was too slim, I wasn't eating enough and I was just had a really bad lifestyle, and everybody was like, you look great.
All right.
And I was like, in my head, I was thinking, this is like the worst lifestyle I've ever had. Like, not good. Like, I wasn't healthy, not very healthy. I wasn't really unhealthy, but I wasn't. So it was interesting that as well, as people were trying to compliment me, but actually, if you were to go really deep into it, it was like, actually, that wasn't the best of time.
Yeah. So then, because people, you're worried, they're disingenuous, or sometimes people just throw around things. It's like if you oversay the same thing, if you keep saying,
yes,
like even the L word, if you keep saying I love you over and over, it can lose meaning.
I don't agree. No, I don't think so.
No. All right. You've got to say it with passion, with conviction. But some people, if they say things over and over, it loses that oomph.
Yeah, I think in some things, yeah, but I love you. I don't think that.
She just told me she loved me.
I don't think I'll ever
We'll
get.
just pretend that's the first time that's ever happened.
I don't think I'll ever get bored of that, ever. No matter how many times you say it. No. But I think if somebody was, yeah. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't.
The light.
The light. Yeah, it's actually.
I love winding up my girls, especially Misha, because she still gets giddy. I'm like, Misha, do you know how beautiful you are? And she's like, she kind of crumbles under the
So
pressure.
sweet. That's like Esme, my wee niece. We're like, you are so beautiful, and she's like, she does this. She actually does that, like. And we're like, oh, you are so beautiful. Oh, I think it's lovely, isn't it?
Well, I remember when I was younger, like if my friend's big sisters gave you a compliment, you're like, oh,
yeah.
Because they were like 16, 17, you're like 7 or 8 or something. You're like, what?
Yeah. I guess in what you're saying about it getting maybe old or something, if you say it too much, less meaning. I guess when you said to me at the start how beautiful I was, it was different to what it is now.
You mean it's less genuine now or more?
No, it was like, oh, this is new. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it doesn't still excite me or anything, but when you first meet somebody, I guess, right? And they're like, oh, you are so beautiful. You're like,
Well, I think it's about saying what you mean, but meaning what you say. Because sometimes people can just say things because it's a nice thing to say. But it's like, but if you're quite specific about what you're saying, that can also help you to come across more genuine.
So when words of affirmation for you, what are those kind of words then?
For me to receive or give?
Yeah, for you to receive.
Well, to receive, what are the ones I like? I like it when people genuinely recognise something that you did. Like, for example, you know, when I used to play a lot more rugby, in my latter years, I used to run, I guess what would be known as hard yards. I'd do a lot of yards, but it'd be other guys that'd be scoring all the tries. But when a coach would say, Rab, you ran a lot of yards today, it was very specific. You ran some hard yards. I related to what he's saying, so I took that as a maximum compliment. Other people say, oh, you played well, but all right, very good. But, you know, it's like they've not pinpointed exactly what was good about your play. But then I guess that comes back to, like, you've got to agree with the compliment for it to really kind of hit home, you know.
I guess that's recognising your effort.
Yeah, and it was very specific, and you would probably, as a player that knew that I ran hard yards, was like, yeah, I did run hard yards today. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, but like
they recognise it, don't they? And that's, you're like, yeah, that's right. I did try really hard.
So sometimes, and that's what I've always tried to do with my girls as well. I try to be quite specific when I'm giving them praise.
Yeah, you've said that before when they like draw a picture.
I try to pinpoint what is good about the picture. I always start off by saying, oh, it's lovely, it's this, but I try my best not to stop. I try to pick out things about it that's good, because you want to praise the effort and you also want to praise specific things so they can then fine tune them. And there's always something to praise. I've always tried to do that, because then that kind of builds. I think do we really know what we're doing with parenting? You just try things.
Yeah.
And what about you? Which compliments or words of affirmation help you the most?
Mine would probably, if it was words of affirmation, mine would probably be efforts to that person.
Right.
So like, thank you for doing that for me, or I appreciate the way you are, you know, and your support, or I guess recognising what I give to that person.
Yeah, because you're a very kind and giving person. So there's a lot of things you do for people, and when they recognise what you've done for them, that I guess that'll be it. Whereas there's a lot of people that when you do good things to them, they appreciate it, but they don't show it enough, and therefore you think, okay.
Yeah.
Not that you do it for the praise, but it's nice to be recognised, isn't it?
I think it's being recognised that you've either
gone above and beyond.
Yeah, or I've either done you a favour, or I've done something for you, or I've cleaned, you know, something, or I don't know. Recognising that person's gone out their way to help. That's for me, that is.
Which compliment I give you like the most?
Well, you say how beautiful I am. I would say that's the most. I do like that one, yeah. Thank you for doing the dishes. Would be nice.
The compliment I love to give you the most is when you say, Rab, you've got a massive, massive heart. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? You did. You thought I was going to say something else. But I know your mum watches this. I wouldn't do that to her. Keep it clean.
You might as well just say it out loud now.
Well.
You know what I'm thinking. I know what you're thinking.
So compliments, basically. It's an interesting one, because we put into our Instagram group about it. I don't think from so far that anybody put that as first, because I guess even if somebody did enjoy compliments over and above everything else, they wouldn't want to say that out loud, because if that's your love language, it sounds like you need compliments. You know what I mean? Almost, even if deep down compliments are the ones that kind of touch you the most, which is completely okay. I don't think people would admit that, because that makes it sound like they seek it a little bit.
Also, as well, it's saying love languages, and when it says love languages, you automatically assume that means relationships, but actually this doesn't actually mean just relationships.
Friendships as well.
Friendships, family, you know, it's not just based on purely a relationship.
Yo.
Yeah. So physical touch.
Oh, you just jumped straight to number 3, darling.
We love a bit of physical
That's only because that's your luckle number. Your luckle number. Your lucky
luckle
number. Okay, we'll jump to number 3 because Libby doesn't believe in acts of service, clearly. What about acts of service with physical
Sorry,
touch?
acts of service. I can't see, that's why.
What about
these
acts of
blinding
service
lights.
with physical touch?
Acts of service with physical. Oh. That's number 1.
Acts of service, which is doing things for other people that brings them joy.
That's a big one for me.
Yeah.
I was almost tempted to have that at number 1, but then I thought that was quite selfish. That would be maybe a little bit selfish of me to say that because...
Well, no, because what you've got to remember is your love language, from my understanding, is the things that you like to do for others and also what you like to receive.
Yeah.
So you think doing someone that brings them joy, like let's just say small things, like my neighbour and I do in return, bring their bins back and forth depending if they're sitting. Now, the good thing about that is that...
Excuse me.
What?
What about all the things I helped you with?
She's all making it about her, right?
You mentioned about the bloody neighbour.
There's not a long enough podcast to list all the things that you do
Out
for
of
me.
all the things, you named the neighbour taking your pen.
Fine.
Kidding.
Tonight, when I fancied beers, Libby's like, I'll go get you them. And she just went out of her way. No, there's loads of things you do.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just laughing. But yeah, you're right. When your neighbour takes the bin.
Yeah.
And you both do a little like...
But it's I think those ones are best received when they're done subtly. When, like, if I come home from work and my bin's already there, I'm like, my neighbour's done that for me. And they didn't need to tell me they'd done it either.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing.
Random acts of kindness, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. When they do it and then they go into their house and they don't need to know if and when it's not like they're going, by the way, I brought your bin back. It's really, really nice, and vice versa. So both ways.
I find that as well, what I've noticed is because I'm a dog walker, there's a lot of the time people have lost a lead, most of the time because, well, their dogs are off the lead, obviously. But when they leave the dog leads that have been missing on the fence, like all nicely. So when you're walking out, somebody's actually picked up your lead, and instead of just leaving it and going, oh, I can't bother to carry that, they've carried it all the way to the fence and left it on the fence so that you can see it. Like random acts of kindness of that, I quite like. That's an act of service, isn't it?
Well, since I'll give you the praise you're due, you did tons of things for me. I just didn't want to list them all. But remember when I was unwell, you gave me a care package. That was lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Class A drugs. There was strippers coming every hour. It was great.
I like mowing your lawn, helping you with that.
Yes, you do.
I like cleaning.
I like mowing your lawn.
I like hoovering.
You do?
Yeah, I like sorting out your shelves.
You really like hoovering. Like really
your shelves. That's all.
Oh, yes, that was
Your
a surprise. Yeah.
Your bedroom.
I feel like I'm getting kind of like best target here now. I'm like, what have I done for her?
Yeah, I would say though, acts of service could potentially be number 1 for me. Yeah, I think when I don't have to ask somebody to do something, and I'm meaning like, yeah, like so sometimes even like if a client leaves out, let's just say a lead, not that they do, but it's little things like that, I guess, and then sometimes they leave like a towel out. I'm like, oh.
We need to remember as well, this Dr. Gary Chapman, who allegedly invented this, he was a marriage counsellor. So you've got to think that even within the concepts of a relationship, doing these kinds of acts of service, the things that you do for your partner without having to ask, as you pointed out, they mean the most.
Yeah.
Like everything, right into making someone's lunch or having the place tidy for them getting home, or, if either partner's working late, preparing the dinner for them and just stuff like that. So, but the problem with some of those acts of service is if the other person comes to expect it, and that's when it loses that magic, doesn't it? Because if the person doesn't appreciate the act itself and thank them properly, then that really causes dissent. Like, you think of all the lovely things you've done, and to be fair, I always thank you for them.
I know.
But imagine I didn't. Imagine I just came to expect it. Then all of a sudden you'd be like, for goodness sake, I tidied his shelf for him, I cut his grass for me. He doesn't even say thank you.
Oh no, yeah.
You know, and that's,
Yeah, you know,
that
you
is the
make
problem.
a massive deal of it in a nice way.
Yeah, but then
You're
it's
like,
recognising
wow,
that it is
yeah.
a thing.
Oh yeah, if you're just like, oh yeah, cool, like.
Yeah, if somebody's gone out the way and done something for you, that's why it's really important to properly thank people. You know, make an eye contact, thank you so much for doing it, and if you're as specific as you can, because otherwise, if it doesn't feel appreciated, the person then doesn't feel appreciated, and then it starts to cause problems, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's definitely my love language. One of mine.
Yeah. Right, we're going to move on to your lucky number 3.
Churchy treat.
For physical touch. Love is felt through non-sexual touch, hugging, and general physical presence, which is interesting. So like even right now, we're shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, soul to soul.
I love physical touch. I'm a physical touch.
Yeah. Oxytocin. So oxytocin is one of the happy hormones that is released when you hug. You can work with your animals as well, people. So if you hug your animal, I think it's 20, 30 seconds. So long as you genuinely care for the animal and your animal genuinely cares for you, you can get it through pets as well. Oxytocin, they call it the love hormone, but it's very, very good for us. If you're ever feeling down, that's why you get things like therapets as well.
Yes.
For people in homes or wherever, people taking their dog and they can show affection and then give it a hug and it helps them.
Is that why they say touch the furry wall? What? Touch the furry wall.
Are you sure that's to do with therapists?
Is that not to do with like, oh, touch the furry wall? Is that not like a really nice feeling?
I think you've seen that in a porno or something. Really? Is that a thing?
Where is that all?
I don't know, but I think it's got an age rating on it.
People are going to look up furry touch the furry wall.
Don't.
Don't look it up. No, physical touch for me, definitely. For me, it's small physical touch as well. Like I'm not even, well, obviously we're not talking about really intense physical touch.
Well, it does
here,
actually
but-
specifically say non-sexual. by the way,
Yeah.
So let's keep out the gut.
Oh, right, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Obviously.
Sorry, I got big.
It's so beautiful.
She's like, there's those lights again.
But yeah, like I like quite like sometimes just a wee hand or hand on the, the back.
Keeping it clean.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely physical touch. I've always been quite a touchy feely person.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, loneliness is a serious problem for all humans, if we experience it. And they do say that whilst communication is something as well, because we are social creatures, being touched or held as well is a big thing. Because you think you're nurtured as a baby whenever you're in any sort of turmoil. And then as adults, we're like, I don't need to be held. But ultimately, when you've had a bad day, that's probably the best thing for you.
Yeah.
Nice hug.
Yeah, that's true. Although I bet you there's some people though that would be a bit like, don't touch me.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on like your mood as well. Because I suppose if you've had a bad day and you're kind of, when you've had one of those days where you just feel a bit defeated, when you're like, the world got me today. Those are the days you want to hug, but the days you're kind of, I don't know, wound up or angry or on
Yeah.
you might find yourself pacing and replaying it. Somebody's then like, right, do you want to hug? You're like, no. I want to just keep, So I suppose it does depend on the mood.
Do you ever feel like that, where you're a bit like, don't touch me?
I've been like that in the past when I've been my mind's going 100 miles an hour, and it's not that I don't want to be touched. It's that the act of hugging would slow you down when your mind's going 100 miles an hour and your body's pacing with it. So sometimes like, no, I need to move.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
But I do know people that, that they, I guess people, maybe it's to do with personal space. Maybe when they're stressed and they're in turmoil and stress, they don't want their physical space invaded.
Claustrophobic as well sometimes.
Yeah, they're just like, just give me space kind of thing, I need to breathe And it's a shame because the person usually trying to give them the hug or make them feel better are just doing that. They're trying to fix the problem. They don't mean any harm by it.
Yeah.
Well, so physical touch is a big one. Now, the next one, I'm going to ask you a specific question on this one. So, quality time.
Okay.
So, giving your attention to another person, active listening, and making time for loved ones. So, quality time. So, a lot of people would put physical touch up there. I certainly put it up there as part of my love language, right? And when I did a search, it said most men's love language is physical touch or even just close companionship. So I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But then I thought about it and I thought to myself, when I was going to ask you this, which one could you go the longest without? Between
Quality time.
you could go the longest without quality time.
Yeah, I need physical touch.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, but with quality time comes physical touch.
Now you get me on technicalities.
But it does though, because if I'm in bed with you and we're not like that. I just mean like if we're cuddling, or that's quality time to me. I don't need to be right, we're gonna go on a date and this is the quality time. Like sometimes actually for me, quality time is the day-to-day things, really, isn't it? Like going to bed and sleeping.
Well, what about like when you take throughout our day? Now we chat all day long, right? But we're not together. Now
Yeah, that's
imagine.
not quality time though, is it? So I can go every day chatting to you and
No, but what I'm about to say is, if you took that away, which one would you be missing first? Chatting and hearing their voice or touching them?
oh,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, which one could you technically? I don't think I could go. Like, if we were really busy, right?
oh yeah, your voice, yeah.
Yeah, I like talking to you and hearing and speaking and
But
knowing
then
how
that
you're
would,
doing.
but then I think you'd be more of a friend if that was the case. Like,
Oh, I'm going to get friend zoned if I get busy.
I need,
Oh shit!
I think the physical touch then.
It's lust, not love, clearly. Jesus.
Oh,
She lusts me. She doesn't love me. It's just got to speak shit. That's
no.
what
I know
like,
what
I'm
you're
done
saying.
with your chat.
I know what
yeah.
you're saying. I'm just debating it. That's
Well, I suppose it's what it comes down to is like there's a lot of couples who their partner works away.
Yeah.
That must be really, really tough. But I'm sure it's made easier with things like being able to FaceTime and speak. So it begs the question, it's like, well, which one could you get?
no. I am with you. I'm only teasing you. We're just having a bit of a debate. But yeah, no, I do agree. I would choose chatting over you. Yeah, definitely.
But quality time, though, I mean, that's, in this day and age, it's quite tough because, and I've fallen foul of this, is that you can be together, but it's quality time, it's shutting off devices. It's, the other night was great when we didn't have the telly on and with the fire on, and it was just me and you again, rather than, because sometimes you can fall into traps where you think, right, we'll get a bite to eat, maybe have a drink and watch something on TV, but the TV becomes the focal point.
Yeah.
And then you still have a great evening, it's relaxing, but if you do too many of them, you start to realise, like, your attention's there, and my hot chickie's here. A couple of days go by, you're like, I'm quite sad. You know, you can...
You're pretty good at that, I have to say. I have noticed that you'll either masturbate and be like, right, let's not.
It's because I'm a romantic at heart.
You are, but I have noticed that with you. What was it you said the other day? I'm going to forget now.
Was that when
But you were like, oh, let's get some blankets and let's...
Oh, I was going to sit out in the sun.
Yeah, because I think we had watched a couple of
Because we got
episodes.
We were watching a bunch of stuff on Netflix, and you can get caught in the Netflix trap. But what happens is you work all day, then you meet up, you have a nice bit of dinner at night, you sit and watch Netflix, but you don't feel like you've... Like,
yeah. No, that's really sweet that you do that.
we're hilarious together, clearly. I mean, you don't have that banter and you're relying on Netflix. I mean, if we're watching something really unfunny on Netflix, we're okay. But if Netflix is a bit too serious, you go to bed thinking, we didn't have our banter.
Yeah.
We didn't have our aquarium podcast. We have that 24/7 deal, which is...
I know. I know what you mean, though. It feels like you're almost disconnected.
Yeah. Disconnected.
And we don't want to be disconnected.
No, we don't. We don't.
Well, you're pretty good at that, I'll have to say.
Wish you were better. I'm joking. I'm just being cheeky.
Oh my
No,
God.
you're really good at that. Saucer of milk, table nine.
I need another drink now.
Just joking. No, you are really, really good because like you're always good for
but
suggesting
it's okay.
things. Like,
It's okay, right? It's okay. You are in our relationship. You are definitely better than being like, right, I think we should.
yeah, but you are too.
Turn
Like,
the
you suggest
TV
nice
off.
walks and things, and
Yeah, but you are better. But that's okay. That's fine. I'm okay. I'm not going to get all...
I feel like this is going to come back to bite me.
No. Oh, I just kicked the camera again. Sorry. Sorry. Physical touch. You like it, right?
I'd rather have a compliment on my giant heart.
We need more quality time.
So the bottom one, receiving gifts. Now, I think a lot of people will agree it's much easier to give a gift than it is to receive.
Absolutely.
It almost makes you, or it can make you uncomfortable
Yeah.
to receive. And yet, you appreciate the effort the person has gone to for that gift. Gone to. I know, I'm beer burping. So sorry. I don't want to burp in her face. That's not a good love language.
I find it so funny when
I try to
people
hold
burp,
it in.
yeah, like...
Do you know there's been once or twice I've like held a burp and it's coming in my nose. I'm like...
Oh, it's when your tummy goes.
Is that not a bottom burp?
You know when sometimes when we're lying down together on the couch and I hear your tummy, it's like... Yeah. Yes, I agree though. I am definitely... I hate my birthday, but I love everybody else's.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely way. Just put it there. Sound bites, people.
Boom.
Boom.
Whoppa! Yeah. Like, I can't wait for your birthday. But I'm not looking forward to mine. Especially not this one coming up. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so doing nice things for others, but then when it happens to you, sometimes it's like, oh. I think it's easier if somebody has... I find it easier to receive a gift that somebody's spent time on rather than money. Because when somebody goes out the way and spends a lot of money on you, you're like, this is great, but you can like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, it feels extravagant. But if they spent their time either making or organising, that's when it really, you feel quite touched because you're like, you've put a lot of effort into this. This is awesome. The lights strike again. What were you thinking about?
I was actually thinking about your Christmas present.
Well, my Christmas present to you, people, when Libby tells you what her present is, you're going to be blown away.
Yeah, well, really? Can you give me one hint?
No. That is the hint, that there's no hints. I'm going to make Christmas Day the best Christmas Day I've had in years.
Oh.
You watch.
Thank you, darling. I know you're trying really hard to...
I will succeed. I don't just try. What did you say weeks ago? You're like, when Rab says he'll do something...
Yeah, he does.
He gets it done. He finds a way. He always does.
Yeah, you do. No. I'm not a fan of Christmas. This is why.
So I'm trying to change your mind. Or make her smile from ear to ear. And just you all wait. Just you all wait. We might even put it onto our Instagram at the time. We'll see.
If you had to choose though, right, summer or winter, what would it be?
This is like trying to pick a favourite child. You're not supposed to. What if the other seasons hear us?
I hope they do.
You are so antagonistic.
I hope they do so that...
Oh, they buck up their ideas.
Yeah, because it is getting warmer, so summer
So you're saying
is
summer... I enjoy summer for lots of reasons. I do enjoy parts of winter. Like tonight, I went on a lovely, and I know it's not quite winter, but it's almost. I went for a lovely walk in the woods, a new forest, by the way, it's very, very green. And it was amazing, it was peaceful, it was calm, and there was that, you know, that kind of autumn/winter smell in the air. It's just, you can smell the change in seasons. And it was so peaceful, and I was walking, and it was just like,
Why is it not peaceful in summer?
There's something about the summer that's warm and slightly more alive and noisier in the summer. I can't explain. It's a vibe that I get when I'm in the forest.
Yeah, I guess like birds and...
Birds, creatures, just everything's just floral. Everything's blooming. Everything's just more alive, which is fine. It just feels more like it's all going to bed in the autumn/winter and they're all napping. You asked for my opinion, you got it.
Yeah.
I don't want to offend summer or winter, otherwise we'll be thrashed with eternal winter or eternal summer.
It'll be eternal summer, won't it? Global warming.
Fucking doom and gloom here, isn't it?
It's true though.
Right, here we go. All right. So, receiving gifts is one of the love languages. Unfortunately, it is a love language I feel that people, it's the easiest. If you're well off, it's the easiest one. Where the guy thinking my girls, yes, I do spoil them as and when, but I'd rather, if I was going to get them a gift, I want to then spend time playing with them with the gift rather than just, because I think some people use, or have used, maybe it's better now, gifts as a replacement for quality time. Like imagine imagine I didn't spend quality time with you, but I just brought you home flowers every night. Yeah, so there's flowers, now I'm going to go play my game. You'd be like, well, thanks very much. I'd rather have your quality time.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that not everybody. I think people are much better now, but I think there was a general time when people used to use, I guess you would use gifts to appease your guilt, maybe, if you'd, I don't know. Like, I know that every time I went away for any sort of work thing, I always bought my girls a toy. Now, whilst that was a rule that I had in my head, every time I go away, I'll come back, I'll bring them a toy. Part of me was an element of, I wish I could have taken them with me, and therefore it was appeasing a bit of my guilt, maybe, as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I guess what it comes down to, if you were to talk about receiving gifts, is some things don't cost anything.
You are so profound tonight. 2 glasses of gin and she's a philosopher.
Yeah, I know. What's wrong with me?
Of course.
It's the lights.
There's nothing wrong with you, darling. Everything is right with you. It's the lights.
It's the lights. They got me hypnotised. Yes, some things you can't buy, can you? So that's it, isn't it? If you buy somebody a gift, like flowers, yet you haven't spent time with them, it doesn't cost money, does it? God, I'm good.
She's better than good, isn't she?
God, this was me that came up with the.
You pointed the beer or the. This is actually what you come up with the best podcast ideas. Just saying.
I don't know. Again, a compliment I can't take. See, sometimes I'm like, just take it.
Physical touch, act of service. Just take it, Libs.
Just take the act of service. Yeah.
I will do my service. He will receive my gift.
Give me a gift. Yeah. It's like that thing. Oh, you have to cut that out, actually.
Well, do let us know in the comments below, because what we did within the Instagram group was we asked people the order, if you had to pick your top 3.
Yeah.
And I went for physical touch, quality time, then words of affirmation. What was the order you went?
I think I was 1.
Which is compliments, words
1.
of
I was the same as you.
Well, I was 3, 4.
Sorry, I was the same as you, but I also put 2 and 1. What was it? I can't remember what I did.
Princess Libby, like, pick 3. Yeah, we'll pick them all.
Yeah. I can't remember, but I definitely put acts of service close to number 1.
Describe yourself in 3 words. I'm not a rebel.
Yeah.
I bet you receiving gifts is quite... I wonder if...
I reckon people will feel guilty saying that one.
They'll probably say receiving it, but giving gifts, I guess... Because I suppose with your love language, it's what you give and what you receive. When you think of compliments, do you give them or do you enjoy receiving them? It's a two-way street. Acts of service, do you enjoy receiving them, as you said you did? And do you like doing them from other people, which you absolutely do. Physical touch, give and receive. Quality time, give and receive. But then the gifts thing, because like we said before, is that it's much... You love going and buying someone a gift, especially if they couldn't get it themselves or hadn't thought of it themselves. But then when you receive it, it's always a little bit harder. So I wonder... And
again, the receiving gifts part, that's the only one out of them that may potentially cost money.
Yeah.
You know, so somebody cannot be, for me, the receiving gifts part, that's kind of on par with somebody's not there for you the whole year, a friend's not there for you, but send you a birthday gift through the post. You're like, well, you weren't there when blah, 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 blah. But because they've given a gift, it's, doesn't really mean much, does it? When the person's not emotionally and physically been there.
Yeah.
Through whatever.
Give your time. Gift of time.
So, yeah.
Time is the only thing we can't buy.
No, time goes fast as well. Time's going faster. Time is going so fast.
It really is.
Do you not find that? every time it gets to Friday, me and you are like, it's Friday.
Is it Friday? No, and it's only Tuesday now, though. We've just saved ourselves a whole day.
Yeah, we are.
Because normally we record on a Wednesday night, you see.
You were saying, what was it you were saying the other day? About how actually life does get quicker.
Well, yeah. So, in fact, we talked about that on one of the earlier podcasts. And it's because when you're only 10 years old, 1 year of your life is 1/10, which, 1/10 is this size, right? And then, but when you're 20 years old, 1 year of your life is 1/20th, so it's much smaller. And it's why, when you get to my age at 22, that 1/22 of your life is it goes by quicker. So you think of your early years in your life when you had school for the majority of the year, then you had what felt like the longest summer ever. And now your summer break is like much faster, and it's because of how it breaks up. I'm 40 at the moment, so every year of my life now is 1/40th, which is a much smaller chunk. I mean, you could argue it's because we're busier as well, but there you go.
Interesting, yeah.
So life is going slower for you, darling, than it is for me.
Why?
Life in the fast lane, baby. Because I'm older than you, so that's fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You forget that sometimes.
I do, actually, yeah.
I don't.
I sometimes think I'm older than you.
Is that because I'm so childish?
Yeah. I'm only kidding.
How do you put up with me?
No, I'm only kidding. You're young at heart, that's why you'll survive long.
I'm immortal, that's why I'll survive long.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Goodness.
Sorry, yeah. It's all immortal thing, yeah.
She mocks it, but it's a belief. It's a belief.
To be fair, you do heat up, like...
I'm not from this planet, people.
Yeah. You do heat up mad amounts.
I generate.
You're like an actual heater. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say before we close off the podcast? We had lots of energy for this one.
Lots of energy. I feel much better. I even feel I've got energy.
And I love maybe when she's got her wavy hair. We have lots of different hairstyles. I try and bring you different hairstyles week to week. Sometimes I gel it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I gel this way, sometimes I gel that way. I know you're all commenting about the different... I'm trying to be cool.
Are you trying to be cool?
I'm trying to be down with the kids.
You're cool like that, though. That's cooler.
Is it?
Yeah.
I like your wavy hair. It's very natural.
Thank you.
All about the
Yeah.
beach.
Well, I actually naturally have curly hair, but it's actually just harder to maintain it being curly.
When your hair's like that, it makes me want to roll about with you on the beach and show you my love language.
I know what love language that is.
Yes. It also includes receiving gifts and acts of service.
Perfect.
Your mum's like, for goodness sake, Rab.
Perfect.
Jesus.
Let's go on holiday.
We'll need to try and think about next week's podcast as well. We always come up with ideas. We were flirting with the idea a couple of weeks back of doing getting back to fitness, because we have been getting back to fitness, but
Yeah.
the right angle.
We'll think of something else. If anybody has any ideas, definitely we'll put why don't we put a little story up, if there's anything you guys want to
Story
maybe
in
talk
our
about,
Instagram.
please feel free to say, because it's good to hear as well what everybody else wants to talk about. So yeah. Okay, guys, am I closing off?
Go for it, baby.
Okay, guys, please follow our Instagram. It is private. Okay, so if you're cool enough, you get accepted. That is the act of service for us. Physical touch, you won't get. No. Yeah, follow our Instagram, guys. And again, any other ideas, please feel free to say in the comments. Whoppa, have I finished? Okay. Oh, look at my nails.
That's your thing when I'm doing my.
Oh, and I hope you've all had a really nice weekend as well, because this will come out by Sunday, won't it? We'll have had a really nice weekend.
We'll have had a real nice week as well.
Okay, I need the toilet really bad now.
Oh,
Is it okay?
I'm just going to sit here and chat to myself and drink my beer.
Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.